So we are back here with another video, man, and it is pretty obvious at this point that something needs to be done with King of the Court. So I am going to give my ideas today. This is what I would do if I was 2K, and we are going to just let me know what you guys think about this, man. So let's kind of just get into it, man. Before we do, though, please make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new, as well as leave a like on the video, man. So there are two main issues with King of the Court right now, right? The first is the use of Zens. And then the second main issue is either intentional or unintentional boosting of people, fans of some of these people purposely letting them blow them out and then not quitting out of the game because then they can maximize the amount of points that they get. So I think that there is a fix to both of these issues, man. So with the Zen, there needs to be, I'm not even 100% sure how Zen works. Like, I think that you either plug it into your console or plug it into your controller. There needs to be some way that 2K can detect this. And I feel like they could do it, but they just kind of refuse to do so. I really think that there's some way that before you start playing King of the Court games, or before you even you're logging into Myteam in general or whatever, they need to be able to do like a scan on everything that you have activated or whatever. Like there has to be a way that they can do that. Would it be easy? Would it be an overnight thing? No. But Zens are, and it's the same thing with the boosting thing. I do believe there are people getting accused of using Zens that are not. There are a ton of people that are using Zens that, of course, are getting accused, whatever. It's just a really, really big issue, and Zens need to be wiped out because you're either using one or you're getting accused of using one, unless you're Tire Splash. That's pretty much the point that we are at with this. So they need to do something where they scan everything that you have plugged into either your controller or your console while you're loading it to Myteam, or while you're going to start playing King of the Court. They need to do something like that. That is what they need to do. And do I think it'd be easy? Like I said, no. Do I think it'd be impossible? Absolutely not. I think that there is a way that they could do that. So that is the first issue. The second issue is boosting, whether it is intentional or non-intentional. There's this whole argument this weekend that Splash was intentionally boosting, Ty was boosting, but it wasn't intentional. Whatever the case may be, this is something that needs to get eliminated as well. And my recommendation for how this could be eliminated is, first of all, make the opponents anonymous. That would fix a lot of this. It wouldn't fix all of it. We're going to get into a couple of other fixes that we could do as well. Make the opponents anonymous, man. Make it so that you can't see your opponent's username. There's none of the custom jerseys equipped. Everyone just plays on that rep court or whatever that default court is. Make the opponents anonymous, man. Would you be able to maybe tell who you're playing because of the players that they are using? Yes, that is another issue that would need to be kind of addressed. Like, everyone knows what Ty's lineup is. Everyone knows what Splash's lineup is, whatever the case may be. And then another thing that they could do if they wanted to go even further is make it so that you can't actively stream when you're playing. And I know that this is going to be a controversial one, but I really don't know any other way that we could stop this from happening. Because the anonymous thing, that would be the easiest fix, right? And that would stop a lot of the boosting, but there would still, it would stop maybe like 25 to 50% of the boosting, I would think. But there's still so many people in these people's streams, and then they are going to let them boost on them or whatever too, because they're watching the stream. They know that they're matched up with them, whatever the case may be. So something needs to be done with the streaming as well. Now, a lot of people have recommended a tournament format. I'm not really too sure about that, man. I'm trying to come at this with a realistic approach. A tournament would not be the easiest thing in the world to organize. It really wouldn't. I mean, they've had trouble doing it in the past with 250K, whatever. So I'm kind of coming at this with an approach of, if they keep sort of the same format, what do they need to do? And I think that those are the first two things. Make it anonymous who your opponent is. make it so that you can't actively stream when you're playing. Would that suck for players? Yes, but it would give everybody else a better chance at 10K. That is just the absolute truth of the matter with all of this. Now, with people kind of recognizing other people's lineups, that one is kind of a hard fix. I mean, they could do something like where you have to, well, I don't know. I don't even know if there is a fix to that one. So if somebody is a big enough fan of Ty that they recognize his lineup, whatever, I don't know what they could do about that. So that would still remain kind of an issue. Um, but those other two things would make it so that boosting isn't nearly as big of an issue as it is, man. And there needs to be, the point format needs to be different. It really, really does. I mean, because you shouldn't be getting more points based on how much you beat somebody by. In theory, that's a good method, but with what people are doing, it's just not going to work. It needs to be just like a certain amount of points for each win, regardless of the score. You know, something that would be a really simple fix that they could do. I don't know why they haven't done that already, to be honest with you. Um, there's issues with people playing on different servers with VPNs and such. It's really, really easy to switch the server that you are playing on your console. It is not hard to do at all. I've done it to play Friday the 13th because Friday the 13th, the game, is not legal to play in the US right now because of lawsuit issues with the whole Jason Voorhees thing, whatever, but it is legal to play in other countries. I've done that to play Friday the 13th. I've changed the country that I'm in. It is very, very easy to do. Change the region that you're playing in and everything. And I think that there needs to be, I don't know if 2K servers could handle it, but if we could just get out of this whole region thing and just everybody could play everybody, because if that was the case, I think like someone like Killzone probably could have won week one. Say whatever you want about that. Say, you know, there's people saying that somebody played on Killzone's account, whatever. I don't think that that's the case. From what I've seen and from what I've heard, Killzone was a really, really good player. And he would be a comp player and be up here on the leaderboards every week if it wasn't for him having to play on Australia servers where there's really only like one or two other competitive players. So the whole region thing really, really screws people over. It really, really does. So they need to do something about that as well. But I think that all of those things that I just mentioned, if they just sat down just like I just did right now in the 2K meeting room, you know, they set a meeting up, talked about all these things for like 10 minutes like I just did, they could come to some conclusions where would all of the problems be eliminated? Probably not. But I think if all of those things were eliminated, we would be in a situation where it would not even be nearly as bad as it is now. And then implement some of these things for next week or the week after, whatever, see how it goes. And then people are going to find a way to play the system again. It's always going to happen. And then fix it again. Like, see what happens with these new things implemented and then go from there. You know, so I don't know. I don't really think that they care, though, which is sort of unfortunate because I don't know what's going on with this beefy US guy. People have accused him of all sorts of things. It could be a case of where he was playing legit and was boosting or whatever. That's kind of the thing that is unfortunate too. And I mentioned this earlier in the video is if you're not Ebans, Splash, or Ty, you're a cheater. I mean, that's just so a lot of them are cheating. I do recognize that, but I think that there has been for sure some people that have gotten called out for cheating that have not cheated. And I mean, there's $10,000 on the line. You expect people, the Zen thing is totally immoral. I would never use a Zen. I know a lot of other people never use a Zen, but you're really expecting people with how you have the system set up. There's $10,000 on the line. You're really expecting people not to change their region and not to boost their point totals and pay people to let them blow them out, whatever. Of course that's going to happen. I mean, there's $10,000 on the line. So I don't know. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, man, and also leave a like on the video. That's always very, very much appreciated. With all that being said, I will see you guys in the next video.